The Wizards are the single worst team in NBA history. And I'm not joking when I say that. They are, like, statistically, on a per-game basis, the worst team in the history of the NBA. And they're not even, like, majorly injured. And it's not like they've got no talent either. I've never seen a team care as little as this team do. They just don't care. I've never seen him just not try before. They're not even trying these games. It's the most egregious tanking I've ever seen. But before we get on to that, if you guys are new to the channel, we're doing Hoopsmas. We're uploading 10 videos a day, or we're trying to upload 10 videos a day on average between the 1st and the 25th of December. And right now we are trying to hit 7,700 subscribers by the end of today. We are a grand total of 6 subscribers off, but we're only less than 2.5 off 10k, which is incredible. And we're not even at the 10th of this month yet. So anyway, yeah, we got to talk about the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards, who just lost their last game by 36 points. Let's count the amount of points they've lost by. 36, 31, 10, 25, 19, 12, 12, 28, 20 to the Pistons, 22, 9. By the way, this is their only single-digit loss of the season, and it was by 9 points. 15, 27, 24, 13, 20, and they won 2 games in a row against the Wizards, or against the Hawks, I guess. This team is so bad. Like, they actually, like, I don't see where they win another game. Like, they are playing against the Grizzlies. They are not beating Memphis. They're not beating Denver. They're not beating Memphis. They are not beating Cleveland. They're not beating Boston. They might beat the Hornets without LaMelo. If they don't win this game against the Hornets without LaMelo, they've got 2 chances against the Hornets without LaMelo. If they don't win either of these games, I think they're breaking the record. And I'm not joking with that. Like, the Pelicans will have guys back by January the 4th. Then they play a doubleheader against the Pelicans, back-to-back. Is it back-to-back? No, there's a day in between, I think. Obviously, the dates might not be correct because I'm on a different time zone. And then the funniest part is that they could break the record against the Sixers. The Sixers, Doc Rivers on the 9th of January, facing off against this team to potentially set the losing record. And my favorite part about all this is Kyle Kuzma last year going out there and quoting like him saying, we just don't want to be that team. We don't want to be that team. I mean, who wants to be that team to lose to the Wizards? Because as bad as the Pistons were, they were better than this team. Like, they were at least competing. They were trying to win games. This is a team with so much more talent. This team has got BBALL Daily. This team has got Jordan Poole. This team has got like Kyle Kuzma sometimes when he plays. Valanciunas is a good player. And they're literally out there still letting Alex Sarr shoot 20-something% from the freaking field most games. Busty McBusterson playing center for the power forward for them. But it's my favorite. I love this Reddit thread. Jordan Poole trade will be considered one of the worst of all time. Despite his defensive shortcomings, he's shown elite shot making the playoffs in his only 24. In my opinion, his ceiling is enormous. I can't understand when people are praising the Warriors trading for 38-year-old CP3. First top upvoted comment, or a second top upvoted comment. Lol, just wait and watch him this season. You'll see why Golden State Warriors wanted him traded. Yeah. You can see why Draymond wanted to punch the guy too. Obviously, Draymond the wrong for that. But, like, they're so bad. If you guys don't know, the worst team in NBA history, not record-wise, but, like, by plus-minus-wise, is, like, minus 13, I think. I think that was the Dallas Mavericks from, like, the 90s who won 11 games. Their record was overtaken by the Sixers who won 10. The Washington Wizards' average loss is nearly minus 17. I've never seen a team. I've never seen a team. Of course, I've never seen a team. There's never been a team that has lost games by an average of 17 points. 17 points. Like, what is... I just don't know what's going on. I genuinely just don't know what is going on with this team. Like, to lose by 17 points is horrific. Like, that's absolutely horrific. To lose games by that average? oh man, like I would be embarrassed if I was a single player on this team, because the worst part is at least the Pistons, again, they went down fighting. They had the record where the game to lose the record where they nearly beat the Boston Celtics, who at that time they only lost 2 games up to that point that season. So they did whatever they could. And yeah, like I think they did a no-win November 2, I'm pretty sure. But at the same time, like they at least tried. They at least, like last year, did they have the worst record in the NBA last season? I need to check. Did the Detroit Pistons, when it was all said and done, have the worst record? So the Detroit Pistons were only 1 game off the Wizards by the end of last season. And like they started off, obviously, I think it was like 2-30 or something. Or was it 2-29? So for the rest of the season, they lost. They were still had the similar like win-loss for the rest of the season to like the Hornets. The Trailblazers 21. So yeah, the Pistons were only behind the Wizards by 1 game last year. Like I'm not joking when I say this. I think the Wizards might win sub 10 games. They actually, I don't know how they win more than 10. Like they are not just losing games, they are getting blitzed. Like they're losing games by every now and again they'll lose a game by 10. If they lose a game by 9, it's an anomaly. Because that again, that has been the literal only game. The Spurs, could you not have just got one more game? Or one more point? If you'd scored one more point, every single one of their losses this season would have been by double digits. They're on a 16-game losing streak where all 16 have been by 9+. 15 of the 16 have been by double digits. There's never been anyone this bad before. And I mean that. We have never seen a team this bad. And I don't know how they get better because they don't care. Like, you've got a bunch of people. Like, how is Jordan Poole? And this is when people are just like, oh, you know, X and Y players, they are, certain players, like, they're winners because they've won a championship, and players that haven't won championships aren't winners. By your logic, Jimmy Butler's not a winner, but this man is a winner. This man does not care about anything about chucking, other than chucking shots. He's not even very good at doing that. There is one winner on that Washington Wizards team, and it's BBALL Daily. And knowing what they did with Denny Avdia, they're going to ship him off too. Like, they took Alex Sarr. They took another man who doesn't really care about basketball. They took a man who every single place he's been since he was 15, it's like, oh, this guy should be good, and has underperformed. He wasn't even good in overtime elite. He wasn't even good in us. He wasn't good in Australia. He wasn't good underage for Real Madrid. He wasn't good underage for France. And you took him with the 2nd pick of the draft and surrounded him with a bunch of people that don't. You got a guy who has a questionable will and want to improve, and you paired him with Kuzma and Jordan Poole. You have the 2 worst vets in the entire NBA, and you might be saying, what about Vucevic, you know what, that might be a decent vet hire. But you still got Kuzma and Jordan Poole on your team. Like, come on, man. Come on. I'm sorry, like, the only way you guys might be able to win games is, I stand by this, just for one game, just cherry pick who's at courtside. Don't even sell the tickets. Buy all the season tickets out of their tickets for that game and just fill them up. Fill them up with, well, you know where I'll be going for that. And maybe Jordan Poole might win you one game by himself. But at the same time, like, they're so bad.